Sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
They'll run it now with Robinson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run here with Robinson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
49, check 49. Slam.
On 3rd down, Armstrong. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He may try and run for this. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Check.
On 1st down, Wise. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On second down now. It's Bowman. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. They'll run on first down. Bowman. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Wise. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him as he pulls it in. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Let's go. Come on. I got you. I got you.
On first down, Fields. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards up 1st and 2nd down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch the shit. Watch the shit.
And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson on the move to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. Kelly stripped. The ball is free.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's go.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean? Break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, and that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, Fields. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Second down and inches. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Man, I got you. Kill. Check. Switch it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Operating from the gun. Fields. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Jackson toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
Well, let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
On 3rd down, Jackson rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bowman, and he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Steelers, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Let's get off the field. Let's get up. Check nickel. Check.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On 3rd down, it's Robinson. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down. It's
a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Jackson on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. On first down, it's Bowman. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bowman. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Robinson. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
That is caught inside the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Check by 50. Hey, check.
Here's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw is Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on fourth.
Watch the screen.
They'll try and throw for it to Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
They'll run on first down. It's Robinson. 8 more yards this time, coming off back-to-back first down pickups. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings, the things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back, let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Under 10, 10.
On first down, Robinson. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Check 4. Watch the safety creep.
On 2nd down, it's Wise, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Fields. And Jennings has it. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. Robinson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That good for 19 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They run the counter. Robinson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Run coverage excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement.
The team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire